Oh, and the fact that he uses sapphire not only on the case front, but the case back as well. Actually, I've never seen sapphire crystal on a case back. So I'm gonna show you guys my Hamilton, for instance, and whether or not Hamilton does a sapphire case back. All right, so we take our trusty diamond selector. We've got our Hamilton. You guys ready? Here we go.
Average Joe.
It's always time. I kind of want that. Hello everybody, welcome to Average Joe Watch Reviews, where we do more than just reviews. Today we're taking a look at the ISL-84 from Long Island Watches. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and also click a like. That is the most charitable way to help support the channel. So with no further ado, let's just dive right on into the review. Oh yeah. All right, so let's take a look at the ISL-84. To me, it definitely is reminiscent of the Rolex Explorer. Definitely a very sterile dial, not a lot going on here, no date, and I think that's what Mark was going for here. You do have that pop of orange, which is definitely a nice touch. It kind of puts a little bit of pepper on the steak, so I do like that. Mark definitely fooled me though. When I first got the watch, it appears that there's no luminescence at all. And even at second hand, I actually thought that you could actually see through that to the dial. But very stealthy, very sneaky, Mark actually added two sets of lume. There's a first set, which is the C3 Super Luminova on the markers, the numbers, the hour, minute hand, and also the tracker. And then he adds the BGW9, which is the blue, on this lollipop second hand. Very, very cool touch, and I'll show you a lume shot here. This is a time lapse. Ironically, or should I say surprisingly, the lollipop actually outlasts the entire watch, so pretty interesting there. So dimension wise, we have a 40 millimeter case diameter, 13 millimeters in case thickness, 47.5 millimeters in lug to lug, and we're looking at a 20 millimeter lug width, tapering down on this beautiful oyster bracelet to a 16 millimeter. We have brushing all throughout this oyster bracelet, which is a $59 option, by the way. This watch will typically, or should I say default, to the leather strap. So this is a brushed stainless steel buckle. You've got the safety clasp, dual push button, and it reveals the scissor style milled clasp. Very, very nicely done. You do have the NH36A movement powering this watch. Now, there's actually an error on the website in regards to what's powering this. This is not an NH35, but this is an NH36. Okay, so I wrote Mark an email and I asked him about this whole ghost position and the mistake that they made on the website regarding the NH35. And here's his response. He does recognize that both the NH35 and NH36 have ghost positions. Okay, I'll play along. And therefore, they took out the day mechanics of the NH36 and therefore turned it into an NH35. Why you would do that? Because there's no day or date on these watches is beyond me, but I'll just let you guys go back to the review and ponder on that. Either way though, if you guys know your movements, I think you're going to know what's going to happen here. Here's the neutral position. This is where you wind a movement. And then we have supposedly a first click, but this crown is kind of stuck. So that would be your first position, which is the ghost position, guys. We have a ghost position, and there's your second position. hacking. That's how you set the time. Now, this crown has 2 positions, so depending on how you feel about the ghost position, this watch has one, and it wouldn't matter if it had the NH35, which the NH35 actually has, that's just the date, where the NH36 is the day date. So either way, you would have had a date function ghost position. So there you go with that. This does have the sapphire dome crystal. As you can see, there's some distortion there, and it is blue AR sapphire or AR coating underneath the crystal. Now we'll take a look at this on the wrist to show you how it looks on my 7-inch wrist. So we will put that on. Very easy to do so, and then check that out. I think it wears very well at 40 millimeters. Absolutely no issue there. Very clean look. So I'm going to flip the camera around and give you guys some final thoughts. All right, so let's get into the positives first. If you like a clean, sterile dial, no nonsense, this is definitely a watch for you. So I like this Oyster bracelet a lot. I love the fact that it goes from a, what is it, a 20? Yeah, 20 millimeter lug width, and it tapers to a 16. Very nicely done. I like that a lot. Oh, and the fact that he uses sapphire not only on the case front, but the case back as well. Again, this is where companies have the cost cutting. They usually put a mineral crystal back here. I've actually have never seen sapphire crystal on a case back. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna take my Hamilton, for instance, and I always pick on Hamilton, but I don't know the answer to this, so I'm gonna show you guys in real time whether or not Hamilton does a sapphire case back, and I'm gonna say no, but we're gonna take a look right here today and see whether or not Hamilton does that. All right, so we take our trusty diamond selector. We've got our Hamilton. And let me do it this way. So here's the, you're going to see that it's going to read sapphire in the front, which is what we expected. And then we're going to do the back. You guys ready? Here we go. If I can get to it. There we go. Just as suspected, nothing. So Hamilton does not use sapphire crystal on their case backs. Seiko does not use sapphire on any part of the watch, but yet Mark uses it front and back. Check that out. So there you go. I was actually fooled when I first received this watch, and I actually was going to give this watch a huge knock because it appeared that it doesn't have any lume. If you take a look at the dial, you're wondering, well, how could this watch have any lume? Well, it actually does have 2 sets of lume, which is the C3 Superluminova and the BGW9, which is the blue. So pretty stealthy touch there, I must say, and Mark, you definitely had me fooled there for sure. Now, where I can't give this watch a pass is the ghost date. I'm not a fan of the ghost position, especially if you're not a watch modder. You know, to me, it just looks like you had some movements laying around and you just slapped it in a watch and it really didn't belong. Now, if you put the date window in the watch, on the dial, then, you know, then we're in business. But I know that you were going for that clean look. I think that, or at least I would expect that you would take the extra step and then put the proper movement in. So that's where I'm going to knock the watch. The other knock I have is going to be the 1-year warranty, guys. Industry standards 2 years. So I mean, just bringing it up. You know, you guys can make up your own mind on that. But that's my 2 cents, guys. You can keep the change, and always remember that there's always time to be kind to one another. Please take care of each other. And I'll see you guys next time on Average Joe Watch Reviews. God bless, my friends.